Alrighty, let's hope that the audio is working fine so I can make this tier list. And yeah, this is the new tier list. Looks a lot more so different than the last time that I did it. I think the first time that I did it looked a lot similar to the second time, but now that I've been playing a lot and getting feedback from my from the people that have been playing this regularly, I can easily tell that I'm coming very close to a more accurate tier list. And I still think that the Beastmaster is still the worst. Maybe I don't know. Like, yeah, the second and third ability, the mana requirements is they're not too high, but the bear, I think the bear, I don't know if they should. So the thing is, they cancel him the breakers really bad. If they don't have breakers, they don't have this spell. It can probably be a C tier and probably a B tier, man, because the bears they're so easily um countered, but they're really hard to deal with, even with the spell. Like you need probably three dryads or four, something like that, to just dispel a bear. I know level one, I think you need like two. I don't think two shaman. I think you need three shamans. I think you need three purges just to get rid of one bear. Now that level three bear, it can be a little bit scary. So I don't know if they want to really beef up a little bit more the quill beast and the hawk. I know the Hawk does probably like really good damage. It might probably just increase the damage in order to make it similar to the Chimera. In my opinion, I feel like the DPS for the Hawk is not as good. So I think the Beast Blade Master Sire is probably the worst hero in the game. If you have the Beast Master and you don't- and you have they have the spell breakers, of course he's the worst. And his level six doesn't even stun from what I've been seeing. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't think it doesn't stun. The Blade Master, like most of these heroes right here, these four right here got really after version 3.3.3, they got nerfed the most, especially this guy right here. I think the rockets were 40 or 60. Now they cost 100, so it's really insane. And the Beastmaster and the Flame Lord and the Archmage, which are like lower tier, they're actually one of the strongest heroes in like early on. I think the Flame Lord, if you don't destroy the lava spawn, is gonna multiply and gonna really destroy the Beastmaster. I think the Flame Lord's like number one, but I think the it all depends. I think on the RNG as well. But I mean, I think Flame Lord is like the strongest, and then the Owl Tinker. Sorry, I was gonna say Alchemist. I keep confusing because they look very similar. Yeah, Tinker, and then maybe the Beastmaster with the bear. It all depends if they really target the lava spawn and get it out of the way. Because the cooldown to make the lava spawn is like really quick. So I don't know if they need to fix this. And the water elementals, they take a little bit longer to actually cast. So I don't know if they want to change that in a future update. And yeah, the Tinker, he's very tanky. We get like two gemstones on him, or at least one is more than enough because you get the three passive skills, and then he becomes level six. He becomes very tanky. Similar to that of the Tyrant Chieftain. I feel like they're very similar when he becomes level 6 and the Mountain King, but I don't know, like a lot of times he's just depending on a lot of mana. So I've seen people go for belts and some other stuff. I think Medallion of Courage is probably like the best item for this character. This guy can probably go up as well. There you had shamans and necromancers for like the passive skill if he attacks faster. The aerial effect is really good to actually destroy a lot of the units. Like he destroys tier 2 air and casters really good, man. Like he pulverizes them. So I've seen people get orbs. I, the orb doesn't stack with the third passive skill. So most people don't know this. So just something to keep an eye. So the smart people are gonna be the ones getting claws. Um, Anything that increases damage or something with agility, that's the way to go. Now he's a paper tiger. He's very low HP. That's why he's down. Yeah, if he was a little bit more buffed, he'll probably be here and beat Archmage. Again, it's very similar to very situational. You gotta have something like the Shaman. Maybe Shaman and Necromancers are like the number one casters for the Archmage. If you have those two, like in a combo, and you got Derek Archmage, that's probably A tier. Like some of these heroes, they can probably move up like one or two levels. I think the Blade Master is like the only hero from these bottom here that even if you give him items, he doesn't even you don't see a big difference. Like I seen people put Orb of Darkness, he sucks. He used to be really good with Orb of Darkness with 6 items, not anymore. And most people will get 5 Helms of Valor, and then they will get Orb of Darkness with him, or five. My favorite one was 5 Helms of Valor and 1 Gemstone. Man, he would not die, dude. It felt like it was another Tyrant Shifting or another Tinker. But yeah, they really nerfed the heck out of the Blade Master on version 3.4.2. Yeah. Then let's go on with the B tier. This is where it might change, where people might actually argue with me and say, well, I feel like this one's supposed to be here. Last time, I think the Warden was on B tier, so I did a lot of changes here. Um, the Panda, I feel like he's a little worse than the Mountain King. Like all these right here, they're all area of effect heroes, as you can see. The Panda does the fire, and then the alcohol, that second spell. The second spell, I would ignore it, but now that someone told me that it's actually really good, you just need a lot of mana. You can toggle it. So say he goes into battle, you just make sure that the number one priority spell for him to throw is gonna be the fire, and then you gotta toggle off the drunken ability to make sure that the enemies start missing after, not the other way around of drunken and the fire. Same thing with hero right here. Oh, right here, the alchemist. Thing about alchemist, his level, his not his level, his second ability, you gotta really toggle it off and make sure when he's close to a hero or a vital unit that you want to get rid of real quick, turn it on because he uses it and it doesn't last that long. And that was one ability that I was ignoring, but I saw how OP it really is. Like once it gets like level 3, it's insanely powerful. It's like Blizzard for the Archmage. I thought Blizzard was kind of like, or Rain of Fire for the Pit Lord. I thought they were useless, but level 3 is so good. Entangling Roots is another really good spell as well. The level 3 ones, they're just so good, man. And then the Mountain King, Area Effect. Um, his first ability is really good at stopping a lot of level 6. So he might probably change probably a little bit higher. I don't know, maybe. But for now, I put him here. Then his avatar, of course, is really makes him even more of a tank. I don't know who's more of a tank, this guy or Tinker. So it's debatable. And of course, this guy, he's level 6. He's not even in close quarters, so starts doing range attack. And most people that I seen, they go for tank. So the level 6 doesn't shine as much with DPS. But I guess that's fine because the immolation is where it's at for this hero right here. And then the evasive, most people don't get that mana burn. You only want to get mana burn if you're dealing with like hero like Farseer or especially this hero right here, like these two. I know this guy might probably be like, if you shut him down, he becomes useless, but He has an ability that he'll regain a lot of mana. I've seen people that ignore this ability, but it's actually really good. But it has to be like the level 3 that's actually good. The tornado, again with the Archmage, very situational, kind of sucks. Sometimes if you use it, um, it backfires. You gotta be very careful not to use it and pick up certain heroes that a good example is Tarn Chieftain. Like Tarn Chieftain, he dies and then the resurrects, right? Now, if you're fighting him and then the other backline of the army of the enemy hasn't still come in, and you lift the Tarn Chieftain, then there's like what 6, 7 still units from the enemy, and you pick the Tarn Chieftain and the other units as well. That Tarn Chieftain, he would have probably might have died a lot sooner. But you pick him up with the tornado, now he's gonna stack with the other army. It's like the cyclone for the Talon. You wanna use the tornado mostly to interrupt level 6 abilities. Um, interrupt stuff in general is really good for that. You wanna use it on tower, on fortress. I have done it and used it to save my ass so I can actually have the other team from saving me. Now that's probably not the smartest thing to do, but not a really bad idea. I done it and I got like bashed for it, and then I like thought about it like not a really bad thing to do. But again, you don't want to do it to save you if you're fighting like something like a Tarn shifting, like the number one thing that you don't want to do, because they're gonna stack, and you don't want heroes to stack with the other, uh, especially any hero that has a freaking aura like priestess, this guy, keeper, any hero that has auras, you don't want to lift them up so they can stack. So something to keep an eye on. The Blood Mage is really good with the level 6 area effect, the Phoenix, and then the first ability destroys. I think the second ability is on par or probably a little bit stronger than that of the the yeah, level 3 Demolisher. So it's really really strong. His level 1. Now the thing about what I hate about his first ability is that the AI sucks, dude. He targets stuff that they're about to move. They gotta really toggle and control his first ability, this one. Sometimes Dryads get even targeted, dude. And we know that Dryads are special immune. There's some certain spells that say that they don't get targeted and they still get hit. I think Starfall is one of the very few spells that I think Dryads get hit, but I think the first ability doesn't do jack shit towards the Dryads on this. I don't know if Blizzard should have changed that or they just did it on purpose. I don't know. Bart's here, which is actually one of my favorite heroes. I think this guy should be A, but I don't know. His level 6 is very situational. I usually don't get it. Um, if I get it, it's gonna be when he's level 10 or like level 8 or something like that, or level 7, because I focused on getting the Firebolt and Chain Lightning as fast as high as possible. The Dire Wolves are very like eh. It's only like what's it called? It's like the lava spawn. Like those early spells, like the sleep. You don't want to put 2 levels, 3 levels on sleep. You only put 1 level in the beginning if it's gonna be your first hero just to win lane. Same thing with the dire wolf. You only want to put 1 point. Now for the keeper of the grove, that's different because there's 3 trees and you can get 4 trees. So 4 trees and the dire wolf you just get 2. So it's like I don't. I feel like I think the dire wolves are probably the I don't know if they're weaker to summonables. Ground summonables, that is. I think the Quilbis is not as strong, but there's area effect on the Quilbis, I think. I don't know. I just was never a big fan of the wolves. So maybe in the future somebody can change my opinion and say no, they're actually good. I don't know, man. But for now, it's like that. Think I had this guy on C tier, but he's actually really good. He might move to 8 tier, but all depends. I need to get feedback. Level 6 is really good, man, and transmute. I feel like if you're gonna transmute something like worms and chimera, I don't know how the transmute goes. I don't know if you get 50% of whatever unit cost, but I feel like whenever he transmutes big units like chimeras and worms, I get a shit ton of money, man. So by the time the freaking alchemist dies, I already have like 600, 700 gold after my lane is like, whoa. And then you just spam a lot of shit. I love this hero, man. He might probably move to 8, but for now, I don't know. It's like the DR. The DR, I had it on B tier, but now I saw how OP she is. She moved to 8, so this guy might probably move to 8. Keeper of the Grove, I might move him over here, but we'll see. Again, we're going from right to left, from worst to the best. Keeper of the Grove, the reason why he's up is because his level 6 is really good. And I seen game change, like where they're supposed to push on fort, on enemy fort, and you're an enemy fort and you use the level 6, it's just game. Like pretty much the keeper makes sure that the enemy doesn't push back because he's healing everything. And it's probably like the best healing ability in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I was gonna mention about the healing of this. This is laughable. That's the reason why I had him very low, is because I would put a lot of points in the healing. But then I realized that the acid bomb is like the number one thing you want to put points on. I remember this dumbass back then months ago. This was like when I wasn't that good in this game. He was telling me that I was supposed to beat the healing points on on this hero. And then I realized after a while, after seeing, I'm like, sometimes it takes a while to heal some of the units, and the healing points, they're not that good. So you want an ability to move quick so he can be get back into action. And the freaking SH hero right here, the healing, just throws it and then it reflects really fast. This one, you're just throwing the healings, and that's like, I don't think it's worth getting the healings. And this one, it's just the radius, like the big ass radius of the healing, and then the healing is really fast. And then I think the cooldown, it doesn't take that long. I've seen situations where the root is actually for ignored. I would ignore it as well. Back then, you gotta make sure that they don't have a lot of dispel units. So if you're dealing with something like a turn shifting, where almost everybody in the army is kind of dead, and you're dealing with like a very strong hero. I don't know. I'm just picking on this guy because most of the time he gets left out because of resurrection. So you gotta toggle a lot the bind. If you do it, you stop the hero, and a lot of times you kill the hero just with the bind. The level 3 does a good amount of damage. At first I thought it was like very weak, but yeah, it's one of the most underrated spells in this game, the Entangling Brooch. It's really good. If you know how to do it, you can actually stop a really strong hero from killing the Keeper of the Grove. Most people use the trees to actually fend off any threat from making an attack on him, which is also good as well. Then the Thorn of Aura is very good, especially against units that has very fast attack damage. And like usually the Blade Master, if they beef him up, like the worst. Like this guy can destroy this guy. Like if people are greedy and they get 4 Helms of Valor against the Keeper, they have something like Shamans and Unholy Frenzy, and he's attacking really fast. All of that shit is gonna be a percentage return back to him. You gotta keep in mind that critical damage, he does critical damage, so he dies really fast against Keeper of the Grove if he has a lot of DPS. So another very underrated aura right here, Thorn of Aura, which I feel like is so good, man. Sometimes really high damage units like the Mountain Giant, but they attack slow, doesn't do that well. It does better to like faster DPS units. Um, I don't know which one is better. So I just put this one here and I put this. I feel like they're kind of equal. I feel like the level 6 here is a little bit better than this guy. That's why I put Manny in front of this guy. And the stun for this, the first ability is just sickening, man. Destroys the skins of the heroes. And then his armor. I feel like the armor ability that reflects back damage is not as good as the Thorn of Ara. But I'm not sure if it stacks if you have something like this guy and this guy. The Thorn of Ara is gonna stack with the ability. I think it does because somebody told me if you put the unholy armor from the aura of this guy, and then you have something like the aura of the TC, you move even faster. So that does stack. So auras do stack. So you get a percentage of speed here that adds up with the percentage here. I didn't want to believe it, but just watch if you ever get these two heroes at the same time. Notice if they move slightly faster or it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. So it's very similar to these two. So I don't know if the armor of this guy stacks with this guy. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same with this two. It's a very sick combo if they do stack. Something to keep an eye. If you see somebody get these two, holy fuck, man! Don't get too much melee. Focus on getting range. That's all I'm gonna say. Manny, the fire is like the blizzard, but I'm not a big fan of it. And the level 6 is actually good because it stuns. So a lot of the times I just wait whenever I really want to stun something. But the AI is very dumb. Sometimes it just targets stuff that I don't want him to target. So something to keep an eye. If they send something like hippos, you can actually target the hippos and stun the hippos and make the demon actually spawn and then have the demon target the hippos. You gotta be very careful with his level 6. His level 6, this guy gets HP, but I feel like it's not as good in my opinion. Does a good area of effect damage and everything, and he gets back what, the health? But I feel like they could probably do a little bit better for this ability on this one. Um, and of course, and the three belts on him. I think three belts is enough to kill like one swipe of ghouls. I think it's one swipe of ghouls, and I think of footmen. I think four. Nah, you can't kill with grunts because of the HP. Yeah, I think all you need is three belts, if I'm not mistaken. Kill one, like five or six in just one sitting, like if they're attacking you. So he's really good, but you gotta put items in this guy. Same thing with the Warden. She's very, very broken. The thing what I like about the Warden, and maybe she doesn't need a Sobi mask. I like to get that other mask that gives you agility and intelligence. So whenever I use her level 6 and she's casting the first ability, second ability, and then she's blinking, when she's like level 9 or 10, like really high level, as soon as I see that I have like at least three or four items of those, you don't need, I think, a Sobi because once you have like enough intelligence, she'll regenerate the mana a lot faster. So what ends up happening here is that whenever you see she's casting the fan of knives and then the second ability, the poison, I forgot the name. You just make sure to toggle those two. Don't toggle the blink. So you gotta make sure to use the level 6. And then once she uses the level 6, turn off the level 6, then you get back to the first, the fan of knives and the other one. Trust me, man. If you do that, she'll be constantly using spells left and right. She doesn't need any mana regeneration. At first I thought she does, but you just gotta manage the first two abilities to make sure that the level 6 is always casted. So same thing for this guy. A lot of times you're casting a lot of the first ability, and it's very expensive to use the mana, and he doesn't have as much mana. And I think I'm one of the very few people that like to put medallions of courages on him. I think I like to put one or two. I think I put one, like the alchemist. I like to put one on him as well. And if you don't have any mana, turn off the first ability so he can throw the level 6. I don't like the sleep here because the sleep is only like early game. Late game is like useless, so I only get when he's level one as the first hero. It's only because I wanna win lane, or a lot of the times you wanna use it to interrupt the hero, but it's really hard. Like the AI doesn't usually target heroes. That's the problem. I seen him sleep skeletons before. A lot of times I ignore the sleep. Freaking Lich, really, really good. The Frost Nobleman is like I feel like these two heroes are really good farts here, but the slow effect that you get from the ice is so good, man. The sacrifice, I don't get it only when I have ghoul. And then the level six, somebody told me the level six worth it. Hell yes, it is. Especially against unarmored, like low HP units. It wrecks them, dude. Like I done it when I seen very scattered gargoyles. I kill like a good chunk of them just with the level six. This is really good, the level six. And the armor, I don't have to tell you that it's good. It's a lot of times use armor on the Lich and he doesn't die because of the armor. Because it also slows. The TC I think was at S tier, but not anymore. I feel like he's probably more overrated than he actually really is. Might probably go down on the tier list. I'm not a big fan of the first ability. I'm one of the very few people that don't use it. I use the stomp, which is very good for me because it stuns and slows. And the third ability, of course, is like a number the number one thing you want to put with this guy, and the resurrection, of course. So I like to make him a tank on this guy. I've seen people go three bells, one armor, or three bells, and shoot, forgot to actually disconnect my phone. I don't want people's phones going out. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I usually just like to use the second ability because the first ability sometimes just you just target stuff like Dryads, and Dryads don't get affected by the first ability. These two right here, they're so up in this tier. Son of a gun, man. These two right here, they're so high because the silence is just so overrated. Like, it's probably like the only spell that I think it is overrated. People would ignore it back then in version 3.3.3. Like I would see the DR get more of the life, and ever since the version 3.4.2, I've seen more people get that ability, and it's just so good, man. Like really, really good. I've seen people turn around games just because of this damn hero. Her level six is so good as well. I don't have to tell you the on True Shot Aura is really broken. You get the Kodo Beast, you get the Kodo Beast, Druid of the Claw, this guy right here, and I think there's something else that I'm missing. And the Priest. Oh my god, if you have those four and you put it on a Frost Worm or a Chimera, I think that they do 60 plus damage. Dude, that's freaking insane. And then if you have something like Shamans or if you have something like Shamans, oh my god, it's probably like the most scariest combos you can get, man, whenever you have those units together. Okay, some people think that this guy's better than him. I'll tell you why this guy's better than him. Most people think the devotion hour is really good. I have to agree, it's really, really good. But having the movement speed can probably help you win games. Sometimes it can backfire, I get it. But the level 6, you can cancel his level 6. So whenever you're fighting these two, you gotta be very careful. Just keep in mind that you have the Palan, you gotta use it first before him. Because if he uses it, he picks up whatever allies. He picks up everything I think on the floor. That's it. and then his level 6 becomes pretty much useless. I seen people done it to me, and it feels bad. And I done it to people as well. And it sucks whenever you're fighting like head to head, like red or blue, and one person has this and the other person has this. Like, man, dude, like basically like Scorpion and Sub-Zero or some shit like that. It's like a good rivalry. And then the SH, I don't have to tell you why he's so good. I see people win games just because of this hero. It happened to me yesterday, and I think happened to me like last week or 2 weeks ago, where I had nothing but gargoyles as my only air. I still haven't found out that massing weenies is actually a good idea for his level 6. I don't think it is, but maybe it's probably better than just putting random units, because range, you're just gonna get blocked by whatever army they have. You need something to go in. A lot of times the freaking weenies can probably squeeze in better than the freaking bigger units like abominations, for example. Probably ghouls do a better job at coming in and finish up the SH if you don't have air. So that's something to keep an eye, that this guy's level 6 really deadly. There's a placement that I know that he basically becomes broken. Like, and I mean broken. Like, I done it, but it didn't wasn't too effective. Somebody did it to me. I don't know, it was like by luck. And he's really, well, I don't think he can't get hit at all. That's what I'm saying. He's probably the most, like, if you know how to play, he's the most broken hero. Also, his level 2, I think he targets, I don't know if he targets heroes. I think he just targets units, but it sucks when they do it on a Chimera and a Frostworm. Like, you son of a gun, you're turning my big units into crabs or flying sheeps or shit like that. It's annoying, dude, when he does that. What else? What was I gonna say about this hero? Aside from he's a healer as well. Shit, man, I blanked out. I forgot. I knew I was gonna say something about this guy. Wait, what was it? Oh, I remember now. If you have something like the sorceress, just keep in mind you gotta toggle this shit. If you have the sorceress, you have the invincibility, and they wanna target him. If you do the sorceress invincibility and make him invincible when he does the level 6, like right before he does the level 6, he becomes invincible. My God, dude. He'll do the level 6 uninterrupted. And people say that sorcerers kind of suck. Like, sorcerers are really good in long games, and this guy's a long game hero. So the only counter to this guy whenever you don't have air is just to rush in and finish off your opponent before he becomes scary, or or yeah, just gotta keep an eye. If they have something like sorceress, my God, it's a deadly combo as well. So you gotta keep an eye on that. I only done it one time. After I did it with the invisibility, man, I think my opponent got pissed. I don't know what happened in that game, but they kind of stopped trying after that. And I think it was GG's after that, because I think he had air, but he had no detection. And sometimes if you wanna surprise your opponent by putting the sorceress like when he's level 5, you can actually do that as well. I've seen most people put sorcerers at early enough, so you wanna do it as a surprise for this age, that's actually pretty good as well. Let me know if this was actually accurate and informative, and if your hero, if a specific hero you think is gonna move higher or lower, let me know, because I'm not going based on like what I think. I'm going based on what other people think. Like her, for example, she moved up because several people were telling me that she's really good. So I don't know if she moved towards S, but we'll see, man. I'm gonna cut this video and or stream whatever, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay.